Hey man, welcome to the Project Prelude. So my speedometer doesn't actually move at all, which is affecting the odometer, which I'm not very okay with. Yeah, let's go on a test drive. Just want to show you the speedometer, how that doesn't work first. As you can see, I'm moving quite a bit and we are not going any speed. So yeah, it's something that needs to be looked at. So now let me try to show you the steering wheel warble. Pick up some speed outside the neighborhood. Also that comes on, but I believe that light is because of the lack of the speedometer working. When I checked what this code was, when I used the OBD1 and shorted out the connector, it gave me the code 17, which is a vehicle speed code. So I went ahead and bought the VSS. It's like a sensor that goes on top of your transmission, and that should theoretically get everything working again. And there are tutorials out there of how to replace it already, but I'll just show you like my experience with it. So yeah, and coming around to under the hood, I think it is a gray or white connector, and it sits on top, and it's down here somewhere under this coolant hose and under the air box, air tubes. So I'm gonna go ahead and take this out. The way I'm gonna do it is I'm just gonna disconnect it here, as if you're gonna replace the air filter. I'm gonna pull out this hose, hopefully, and it doesn't give me any issues, and loosen up. Oh, well, okay. Loosen that up and then just pull it off. Don't get this stuck under the fender. This battery is way too big for this car. Anyways, feels like, no, it's really just this. It's a metal piece. Perfect. I'm gonna keep looking in here, try to find it. I think that might be it right there, maybe. I really can't tell. And here's just a quick look at the VSS that I actually got. Just bought this off of Rock Auto Parts, and this is the one that I got. Here's that. Yeah. And it comes with two parts. It's the actual VSS sensor. This is what sends the signal to your computer. And there is a little hole right here. As you can see, it's already greased with some yellow grease in there. And it comes with this drive pin. And so that sits inside. So when taking out the old one, just make sure not to lose this or let it fall in or something like that. I could tell because it is 3-pin connector, which is not going to tell you exactly, oh, this is the VSS, because there's a lot of 3-pin connectors. But I could also tell because you could see that flange bolt lines up pretty perfectly right there. And if I can get it, there's another one right there. Right there. So that pretty much tells me this is it. Went ahead and finally disconnected that one connector that was on top of it. If I can go ahead and find it. There are a few things I wanted to note for you though, because it was quite a struggle for a little bit. But this is the male end of the connector. As you can see, there's a tab there, and then the 3 pins. And so this actually doesn't move. It is hooked onto this metal tab here. So this connector, pretty much the same thing. It doesn't move. So when you disconnect this part comes out fine and it disconnects, which I would show you if I were strong, but I'm not that strong. Unless maybe, there you go. So the female ends on this car like to come out. The male ends stay. As you can see, this is female. So that's kind of something different that I'm used to. I'm used to the male ends coming out more. And so There we go. If you actually want to get it out of the way and stuff, you can see, here we go. You can see on the male end, there's another tab here. And so you can press up on that tab and pull towards its direction, so this way, and it'll unhook from that metal. As you can see, it looks pretty much the exact same as over here. So that's something I didn't know about this car, and so it'll just click back into place. There you go. Now, I was able to get one of the flange bolts out using this little contraption here. I actually only used one extension, and I have this handy dandy little wobble 10. But the other bolt is very annoying. So as you can see, this is kind of what I'm working with here. And the other bolt is under here, right there, which I think I showed you earlier, but yeah, it's like basically in between this bracket that's holding the shift linkage and the actual sensor. Okay, status update. Went ahead and used 2 extensions on a 1/4 inch wrench with a 12, and I took out 2 of the bolts that are actually holding the bracket for the cable. So as you can see, this moves. I loosened up the one back here, but I didn't take it out because I feel like it's gonna be a pain to get back in. So I just loosened it up back here. What I had to do is actually use the wrench and kind of get it behind this bracket here of the coolant hose, because I really don't want to have to drain any coolant out. But luckily, as you can see, that looks like it's giving me enough space to go ahead and put a 10 in here and try to get this last bolt right there. So gonna try that now. Okay guys, I broke the bolt loose, but I wanted to show you how I did this because this is a pain still, not easy. So even after I got the bracket loose here, what I did is I have a short extension with a long extension with my wobble 10 down there, as you can see. And what I did is I literally stuck it under this coolant hose that I already unmounted from those plastic brackets from earlier. And I just tried to line this up very gently and put it on top of the bolt, and then very slowly twist this until it fell in. And then while applying force downwards and like really making sure it's on that bolt and twisting, I was able to break it loose. All right, now the moment of truth. There's the bracket, and it actually does look pretty straight, so it might have just been me trying to get to it. And here is the VSS. I'm just gonna pull up gently. There we go. Okay. There we go. And it looks like it is coming with that male side of the connector. And so there it is. I wonder if there's actually a way to test this. Keep it through now. And then here is that pin. And we got a new one, so I'm gonna go ahead and just replace it. So there we go. Easy to pull out. Quite a lot of grease actually. I might go ahead and grease up mine a little bit more. That is a male end on the top right there. So the connector should just right on top, which actually means I don't have to use that bracket. I don't have to reuse it because there isn't a male side that has to slide into it anymore. It's just right here. So that's a nice lifesaver. Here's the grease I'm gonna go ahead and use just to get this pin lubed up a little bit more. It is brake lubricant. So I hope this is okay for it. This is all I got on hand, but I'd rather try some sort of lubricant than not putting anything at all. So yeah, I'll just go ahead and lube this up and then set this piece inside here first, since it looks like it's the square side, so that actually might fit it better. Also, if I try to put this in first, then this, it might not want to go in. I'll have to do some twisty turnies to try to get it. It also looks like I should put it in this direction. So if I were working on the car like this, plop it in like that so that the connector from the right side can just click in right there. Right. Good grief. So there it is. Almost lined up with the holes. You can move it around a little bit. And then I'm gonna go grab the connector that's actually behind there and I'll click in. So just go ahead, tighten up those 2 bolts and then put those 2 bolts back in and tighten those up, including the 3rd one that's back here, like literally directly down there, which is super annoying, but it's not impossible to get to. And then put the air back in, reconnect this hose, reconnect this evap line right there, and then it should be good. I really hope this works. Let's see. All right, guys. So got the sensor back in, making sure not to tighten the flange bolts way too tight. So it wasn't like hard, but you know, it's not easy trying to reach into here and actually accessing everything. Now I just need to get the connector on, but before I actually do that, I wanted to show you because I tried to get it on and it just did not want to work. And I was like, okay, that means maybe my cable is getting tied up, because if I could show you right, oh, man, it's really hard to see. Yeah, it's really hard to see. Basically, the connector is sitting right on top of it, but it can't actually connect. So you can see that right there. If I try to tilt it down, I can't get enough slack to pull it unless I start yanking on it, yanking on the cable. So I was like, I don't want to yank on the cable. Let me see what's going on. And so down here, you can actually see how it wraps right there. See that? So what I'm gonna do is push it up past this wiring harness right here and around it. That way I can get some more slack. So I'm gonna grab it with my fingers here. Now, mind you, this car was not modified or anything, so this is like pretty much OEM style stuff right here. So you might have this issue if your car is a like 1 owner, 2 owner, never worked on kind of a thing. But if it's heavily modified and something like this has already been done, it might be different. So there we go. Now look at that. I can pull this wire all the way out, so I am confident I can go ahead and just click it into place right there. Now the only thing I'm worried about now is actually no, shift linkage moves on this side. I was worried about the shift linkage rubbing up on the wire, but it moves on this side. This is just a tube that kind of holds that cable in. Perfect click. That is great news. So now I just have that kind of wrapped down and it's just kind of hanging down there and then going back around the wiring harness. So just a little side note for you. Don't yank on your cable. Try to find the source of where the cable is and get as much slack as possible. That way you don't end up stretching out of your wires, having some weird electrical issues that you have to end up going back and trying to fix. All right, guys, got everything back together, and this time I actually tightened up this bracket here. So that's actually good. Got this hose connected, got this evap line. I'm pretty sure it's for evap. Reconnected. I'm actually not sure. Don't take my word for it, but it's a vacuum hose. It goes right there. So got that all reconnected. That's tight down there. Got the bracket all tightened up nice and good. So now it's time for the test drive. Let's find out. Okay, so check engine light did turn off, which is pretty normal for that code. I did get a code 17, if I didn't make that clear before. Okay, and I am hot. It is hot. Rolling down windows. Oh, no, not that much. Okay. Oh man, I really hope this works, because if it doesn't, I am going to be sad. But that gives us both an opportunity to allow you to see my diagnosis strategy and how we can come to figure out another solution. But let's go ahead and get rolling here. actually know if it's gonna move for going backwards. It probably should, but I don't know. All right, please, please. Gosh dang it. Nah, man. Wait. Oh! I'm just not going fast enough. Okay, wait. I saw it move. I saw it move. Yo! Oh my god. Dude, speedometer is back and I am already going the speed limit. Oh my word. Oh my word. You don't even know how happy I am right now. I was doubting so hard that that would work. I was doubting it, bro. There's a Tesla coming up on my booty hole, but I am going the speed limit, and I know that now because I can see what speed I'm going. This is so good. This is so good. I will update if the check engine light does come back on, but I'm gonna go ahead and complete my lap around the neighborhood, see if it happens or not. And yeah, dude, I am so happy. And look at that, the mileage actually changed. I don't think you saw it, but it used to say 178,633, and now it says 178,634. And the check engine light did not come on. Dude, happy new year, happy car. Car is getting love. Lovely car. The Lude, dude. The Prelude, the Project Prelude is working. Let's go.